different priorities that you as a parent can be sharing with your teacher in order to help your music lessons become more useful, what you would deem to be meeting your goals. And I think a lot of parents are surprised to hear that there are a lot of valid goals that you can have as a parent for your music lessons that are different from each other. So a valid goal could be that you want your child to just express themselves and love music. A valid goal would be that you want them to go far and achieve and be disciplined. Now, both of those things can be achieved in a lesson, but some parents really do prefer one over the other, and there's only so much time in a lesson. So if a parent says to me, hey, I just don't think they're moving fast enough in their book, that tells me spend less time on improvisation, more time on the books, the concepts, the materials, the recital materials, that kind of stuff. If they tell me the opposite, that also tells me let's not just do the books. Let's make sure we're incorporating songwriting, improvisation, singing while we're playing, all sorts of things. So that's the flexible approach that we really, really love here at Shining Star. We believe that you as the parent are the first person that we should be worried about meeting your goals. And then obviously we have goals as teachers, and we want to make sure that we're communicating that. That's what makes us successful. So you know the kid best. What are your goals for your kids? Today we're talking about clarifying your goals, and we're talking about challenging performance pieces. And if you want your child to be focused on performing hard pieces, if that's the benchmark for you, of this has been a great semester because they played this awesome piece and memorized it, that's really important to communicate, because that's not a huge goal for me, for my kids, because of my experience, because of what I see for them. And I'm a music teacher, so I've seen all the areas. So I don't have that as a huge goal. They're performing a lot in a lot of different ways. So I would rather them be focused on like the whole approach. I'm not leaning into one thing more than another, I don't think. So for you, if that's your big goal, I wanted to explain what that could look like, and that it's valid, but you do need to communicate it, because we're not mind readers as teachers. And before I get into this, I just want to clarify what we do. I'm Katrina Mendez. I'm the CEO of Shining Star Music Academy. I am a teacher of piano, voice, guitar, songwriting, everything software, technology for music for sure. And my primary instrument is singing. I started this company because I wanted to bring more music to more kids. And we as teachers, we have over 50 teachers in the academy. We drive to our students' homes if they're in our driving area, or we teach online. We are different because we have a comprehensive approach to music, and not just this flexibility I've been talking about, but it's really important to me that we are touching on lots of areas of music. So we have lots of performance opportunities for our local students. We have assessments every year for all of our students. We have a lot of online group classes that give us a comprehensive view of music that we would not get at another academy where we're just meeting one-on-one every week. Our students have the opportunity to write songs, to learn about composers, to learn musical theory concepts, to practice with another teacher. There's a lot of opportunity within our group classes, and all of our students are invited to be a part of those. So that's what we do. Now let's talk about, this is what I'm calling priority number 3. It's the third most common desire parents have, is can we focus on amazing performance pieces, because that's what I deem to be success. And I wanted to lean into why that's a valid reason to, like, a goal to have. And the first one is that memorizing is really, really good for our students. When we focus on performing, we learn a whole lot of skills, obviously, about standing up in front of people, how to make eye contact, how to get past those jitters. When we work on performance pieces a lot, we learn a lot by rote. And what that means is we do a lot of repetition. And you and I both know that for kids, repetition builds that muscle memory and that confidence, and it makes that brain to finger movement faster and faster with every repetition. So it's really a great thing to incorporate in our lessons for that reason. Also, I think our students love music when they're really good at something. So if they practice a piece enough to be that good at it, they feel good about themselves and they want to continue. There is a point at which playing that same song 90,000 times is not beneficial to me anymore as a student, but hopefully we don't get to that far. We would, in our lessons, primarily be working on our 1 to 2 songs throughout the whole year. It could take maybe 3 to 6 months to perfect a not super challenging song, and a year to perfect a challenging song. Some people spend way more than a year. on one song. It depends on how long it is, on how challenging it is. The pieces are usually above their current curriculum level, so we'd still be working in the curriculum. We just wouldn't be spending as much time in it because we need more time to be focused on these by rote pieces, keeping the student accountable, building on what they're learning. And then the curriculum does take that backseat, like I said. The curriculum is what's fundamental in building understanding of concepts and theory, but they work hand in hand. So working on curriculum and working on your performance pieces can work together to make something great. If your goal is performance, I'm spending more time on the making something great. A fly got in here. I need a fly swatter. Who has a fly swatter? Sprinkling in sight reading for growth is the next thing that I said. So it's really hard to get a student who's playing the same songs over and over to get confident reading notes on the paper. So I strategically mix in sight reading on every lesson if I can, even if it's just for 1 minute, because I want them continually reading new music, even though they're not going to be practicing that. I want them seeing and translating those notes to make that movement faster between eyes to brain to fingers. And then I think 2 pieces is pretty good. And if you're wondering what I'm reading, I'm looking at the blog. I wrote a blog about this topic and it came out today. And I just wanted to share a little bit more about what this means and why, like put a voice behind all of this. I think the benefits, you get these show-stopping pieces and the students feel really confident about it. They also get really good at connecting to the song and building the dynamics, and they build an expression in their song because they get so good at it. They don't even have to think about the notes anymore. And now the expression comes out. And that is the purpose of a performance song. It's just that in this type of lesson, we're really focused on that. Building confidence through mastery. I said that. It makes them really confident. And then there are some challenges. So anytime we fit more of something into a lesson, we have to fit less of something else into the lesson. So by focusing on the by rote, over and over and over learning, we get benefits, but we also get some detriments from it, right? Things that we're not going to get as far in. And I think that the thing that we're losing in that regard is the sight reading. So I said I have to get strategic about, I need them to be still able to read the notes on the page. If they read the same song for 6 months, they got worse at reading new music because they memorized it within a week or 2, and now they just keep practicing the memorization. Does that make sense? So they need to be reading new material. Think about when you first taught your child to read. Do you remember how long that took? And we had to start with the letters. And then over time, it was like these small little words. And if you read the little kid books, it's like really weird words they put together to make kind of odd little books because they can't do full sentences. And then eventually it gets to full sentences. And then eventually it gets to, high school. But that takes years and years. Same thing for music. It's potentially harder, actually, because we have so many levels and layers. Anyway, I won't talk your ear off on that. But we do risk them getting bored. So playing over and over and over the same songs, we can get bored. And then lastly, I think this isn't for the student that lacks a lot of confidence in themselves. We have to be careful. We can't go too far too fast. So you might see that if you're pushing the child, trying to really push them to be challenged, but they're cowering or they're deflating under this challenge, that's not going to help them. So communicate with the teacher on how can we adjust and how can we support the students so they build the confidence. And there's not a one size fits all in that case. But I, as a teacher, am first looking for building that relationship with my student, and then I want to start stretching them to the edge of their capability, but not seeing them deflate in front of me, right? I want to be building. And as they do more, they build their confidence. You're the parent, you see more than I do. So if you're seeing that something's not working, communicate it so we can be adjusting. And this is the student that if they do get a little deflated when they don't feel like they're doing well in something, this approach might not be the best approach, especially at the beginning of a relationship with a new teacher. But talk with your teacher, like I said. And then the last thing I would say is what we do here, I think I've made it clear just with the way I've talked about it, but I care about how my students feel. I want them to have ideas. Music is not cut and dry. It is expressive. And technically, there's no wrong way to play it. The only rule that I tell my students they have to abide by is you can't hurt anyone or anything. Figure out what that means. Like that means almost anything goes. And if that's true, then why can't we approach music that way as parents? We can. You are right in whatever goal you want to set for your kids, and you just need to make it known. If you have questions about music, I want you to feel confident posting them here, sending questions to Katrina at shiningstarmusicacademy.com, or go to the website. You can put in questions there. You can set up on the website, you can actually click any of the buttons on the homepage and set up a call with myself or one of my teachers. We're glad to chat with you, see if you don't know what instrument you want to study, if you're worried because you had a bad experience with another teacher, if you want to talk a little bit more about, can you guys actually meet this need or that need, we're here for you. That's what we do. My goal is to bring more music to more awesome kids. And thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a great night.